After over 8 years of waiting since the last Digimon Story game, Cyber Sleuth, Digimon Story Time Stranger is finally almost here. Launching all the way back in 2016 for Western audiences, it's been a hot minute since we've had an entry in the series. But if you enjoyed the last game, you will definitely enjoy this one. Digimon Story Time Stranger is more of the same, and while it would have been nice to see some innovations and pushing forward, it's still awesome to get something that we expected and enjoyed again in a new format. It's wonderful to have an excuse to dive back into the Digimon world, and if you're hoping to do that on the Steam Deck, you're going to be in for a treat. So in this video, we're going to take a look at how Digimon Story Time Stranger is running on the Steam Deck and how it's going to perform, as well as our recommended settings. If you want to see more videos like this, hit that like and subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified as soon as our next video goes live. The game was also provided by Bandai Namco for review. Thank you. As I mentioned before, Digimon Story Time Stranger is going to be a treat on the Steam Deck, though there are a couple of things that we want to make known. Performance is perfectly adequate, although it's not as good as we would hope. We're best off selecting the medium preset, bumping the texture quality to high and aiming for a 40 FPS target with the SteamOS frame rate limiter. Ultimately, we decided to go with the medium preset since there isn't really a lot of scalability with the game. The low settings look almost identical to the medium settings, but have around the same performance, while high is just a little bit too much. Still, at these settings, the game runs at about 40 frames per second for the majority of play, but there are going to be some occasions either in the busy urban areas, especially in the digital world, or areas with dense foliage where we can see dips towards 30 and very rarely into the 20s. If you want to try getting rid of those drops as much as possible, you can lower character density to low if you choose, but you're still going to get drops in those urban areas. Still, this doesn't happen enough for us to recommend playing at 30 frames per second, so 40 is going to be where we want to sit. With these settings, the power draw is usually around 12 watts to 16 watts, but can spike up to around 21 watts in those intensive areas. So if you have a Steam Deck OLED, you can expect around 3 to 3.5 hours of battery life, and around 2 to 2.5 hours on the Steam Deck LCD. Temperatures usually go around 55 Celsius to 65 Celsius, and of course, when in those intense areas, can go up to 70. The game has fantastic controller support on top of that, and it even recommends playing with a controller, so the Steam Deck is a perfect fit. It supports the 16:10 aspect ratio as well, so you can play at 1280x800 resolution and have no black borders at the top and bottom of the screen. Overall, there isn't much more I can say about performance on the Steam Deck. It just works. It is a great game to play on the go, and honestly, it fits very well. There are going to be some of those drops which can be a little bit cumbersome at times, but it doesn't happen often enough to justify going and bringing down the frame rate to below 40. So we get a nice balance of visuals, a smooth frame rate, and solid battery life. If you were at all worried about being able to play this on the go, then I'm happy to say those worries are unsubstantiated and you can rest easy. Still, the game is solid, and if you enjoyed Cyber Sleuth, you're going to very much enjoy Time Stranger. It's very, very familiar, which it could be a good or a bad thing depending on how you're looking at it. However, if you weren't a fan of the previous Digimon games, this one is probably not going to change your mind, but if you are a fan, you are going to have a blast. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like and subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified as soon as our next video goes live. And a huge thank you to our patrons. You guys are awesome. See you next time.